as you can see, the system just primed up nice and easy right after we finished backwashing. Everything rose to the top, and so the system was running smoothly. That won't always happen though, so sometimes you do have to manually prime the system, and we're going to teach you how to do that next. So as you can see, the next step to manually priming is to fill up the Heron Lint strainer basket with a bucket of water. Again, all of the valves are closed, so right now the goal is to fill the entire Heron Lint strainer up to the top, so you can see the water has filled all the way to the top. I'm going to go ahead and close my Heron Lint strainer basket as quickly as possible. Open the main drain valve all the way. The system will be turned on. You run over as quick as you can if you're by yourself. In this case, I have Chris helping me out. So you'll notice the system turned on. The goal is to jumpstart the system by filling all of the white pipes with water. So we're going to do that. Then we're also going to open up our air bleeder valve just like we did before to help kickstart our system. So again, I'm going to open it. I can feel the air blowing out. I can see water coming into my system from the white piping. Again, my main drain is open all the way. Both of the other two valves are closed. I can see water coming to the top of the Heron Lint strainer basket right now. So just another couple tricks that you can use to help prime up your system. If you have a hose that comes all the way into your pump room, you can use that to fill the Heron Lint strainer instead of using a bucket. You could also turn on your fill line and use your fill line to help you get the system filled with water. Or the last thing you can do is put your system in backwash instead of filter. Make sure if you're using the fill line or the backwash valve that you have the appropriate wristbands on so that you're taking care of that. But if you put it in backwash, you let the system prime up, put it in rinse, back in filter, and then you're good. Please make sure that your O-ring is on there properly. That's especially important. If your system isn't priming, it could be because air is getting in because your O-ring is not on properly.
So this is what our pump room should kind of sound like. This is actually a pretty quiet pump room, which is nice. Also, right here is our Heron Lint strainer basket. You notice, you can kind of see stuff floating, and we're going to look really closely, kind of see a couple bubbles every now and then. Most people may come in here and say, oh, I don't see any water in it. But if you look close, you'll see a bubble. You'll see some of this stuff swirling at the top. This is what we want. I've said it a lot already, but our system runs off of water. The water is all the way to the top of the Heron Lint strainer lid, and so we know our system is primed. This is called prime. Again, we'll go into this in a minute about how to prime up a system, but if we see water still trickling through or not all the way up, we cannot leave the pump room. So two things to check: water all the way at the top, and then the pressure gauges to make sure that there's pressure showing in our filter, and our PSI gauge on the top of the filter. And we'll see that in a second as well. So we see right here, this is our pressure gauge that we were talking about just a second ago. Water was all the way to the top of the Heron Lint strainer basket. However, our pressure is basically at 0. I can open the air bleeder valve. Right here, you see water shooting out. So I know my system is actually primed. The most important thing to tell if the system is primed is if the water is at the top of the Heron Lint strainer basket. I said the second way is to check the pressure gauge. This is not showing any pressure, so this gauge is broken and needs to be reported. Okay, if you notice right here, you can see pressure in this gauge. So this is a working pressure gauge and what it should look like, unlike the one we just saw. To see what our resting pressure is, right now it's labeled 8. What you're gonna do is at the beginning of the season is go ahead and backwash completely, clean out your Heron Lint strainers, do a really, really thorough backwashing. Then whatever goes to resting, we're gonna record for the year, and you don't want your pressure to be any more than 5 to 7 over. If your pressure gets to 5 or 7 more than what your resting pressure is, so in this case, it says it's been labeled that our resting pressure is 8. We're at about 16 or 17. So we would need to backwash this system right now.